Hello, hello, hello. Well, I want to say we're delighted to be here, and we're going to do a little thing right now. Hang on a second. You ready?
Ready.
You hit that switch.
All right, is everybody ready for the big time tree? Are you ready?
Is everybody having a good time? Well, let's kick off the evening by lighting up the star of the show, the National Christmas Tree. Everybody ready? Let's count this down together.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Yeah, okay. Oh, that is beautiful. That's really... This won't take more than half an hour. Thank you, Secretary Haaland, for that introduction. And Merry Christmas to everyone. On behalf of Jill and Kamala and Doug and I, we welcome you all to the National Christmas Tree Lighting. Thanks for tonight's host, LL Cool J. Give him and all the great, incredible performers who are here. As a matter of fact, I don't know how they did it with just that one beautiful lady coming out. Anyway, long story. Freezing. But special thanks to the National Park Service and National Parks Foundation, which takes such great care of our national parks, including right here tonight at President's Park. For 100 years, Americans have gathered at the White House to celebrate the holiday season with the lighting of the National Christmas Tree. Through seasons and struggle and strife, progress and prosperity, for a century and counting, we've come together in a spirit of unity and joy, hope and light. And so we do today with the eternal spirit of our nation as well. Earlier this week, Jill unveiled the theme of this year's holiday at the White House, We the People. The very idea of America, the first words of our Constitution, the beating heart of our democracy, an enduring reminder that America has many, many strengths, but our greatest strength is America standing united. And during this holiday season, reflect on our blessings, that despite our differences, there are far more things that unite us as one America. Common values like liberty, opportunity, dignity, respect and honor, and compassion. In the season of fellowship and goodwill, we remember those values and we seek to make them real for each other. We also hold in our hearts everyone who is missing a loved one tonight and through this Christmas season. We're grateful for all those who console and give them comfort. That's America, a nation full of talent and aspirations, daring and undaunted, a nation that hurts and heals, but never, 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 ever gives up. We're the only nation in the world that comes out of every crisis we've encountered stronger than we went in. That's we the people. And so on this sacred season of joy and hope, let's join together with confidence and a singular American belief in anything is possible, because that's what I see in the American people. You're the reason why I'm never more optimistic about our future. And we just have to remember who we are. We're the United States of America, and there's nothing beyond our capacity if we do it together. So from the Biden family to yours, Merry Christmas, America. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good night.
My colleagues have heard me say this again and again. When I was a student, I was at the inauguration of John F. Kennedy, before any of you were born, and perhaps even before your parents were born. But in any event, everybody made a big fuss, and students learn all over the world, and certainly in our country, what the president said to citizens of America: ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. You all learned that in school, right? Shake your head, yes. In any event, the next line is what I remembered and struck me. He said, citizens of the world, ask not what America can do for you, but what we can do working together for the freedom of mankind. And that's what this trip was about, and that's what President Biden is about, working together. No condescension, but consensus building. And that really was our spirit that we brought to this. How can we work together, listening to your priorities, sharing ours with you, finding our common ground, appreciating our shared values? So in that regard, it was inspiring. We come back informed, inspired, and again, ready to work. And one point that has to be made about this: when China does what it does in the Taiwan Straits or in the South China Sea, it has an impact on America's working families, because you cannot tie up the waterways. That just increases cost. And if you look, that you just saw a picture of somebody with a selfie. That was a dissident from Tiananmen Square, where Kashi, and he was. I met him when he was 21 years old, when he came right out of Tiananmen Square while people were being crushed under the tanks. And he also happens to be a Uyghur, and Mr. Chairman has been a leader in fighting to highlight what's happening in China in terms of the Uyghurs. But in any event, for many reasons, it was a very unifying trip. That's in Korea, too. Those people were killed by the North Koreans. In any event, we're pleased to take any questions you may have. Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
No, we aren't?
They're awake.
Safe and sound. Welcome back.
Thank you.
There are some reports that your son was on this trip with you.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
What was his role?
His role was to be my escort. Usually we invited spouses. Not all could come, but I had him come, and I was very proud that he was there, and I'm thrilled, and it was nice for me.
Did he have any business dealings?
No, he did not. Of course he did not. Next question? Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Lightfoot, every time you have a press conference, you say crime is down. The economy is booming.
Well, that's not true, but get your question, sir.
Across the street, we had a police officer on duty, the victim of a hit and run. We have Michigan Avenue, the magnificent miles now referred to as the Mile of Fear. The Water Tower Place has thrown the keys back to the lender. They say they don't want to be in Chicago anymore. Real Chicagoans are asking me, how could you possibly even consider running for re-election as mayor of the city of Chicago after all the harm you've caused?
Well, I disagree with you fundamentally, and I don't think I need to address and dignify your comments 1 second further. Next question.
I have a follow-up question regarding the mayor's race. You have a few possible challengers. Cam Buckner just got charged or possibly convicted of his second DUI. You have John Catanzara, who couldn't even hold on to his own police badge. You have, my God, who else? Willie Wilson, who endorsed you when you ran. You have...
Do you have a question, sir?
Yes, Ray Lopez, who says he's going to make history as the first gay Hispanic. Of all of these challengers, who do you see as your greatest challenge?
I am not focused on any of the other people who are saying that they're going to run for mayor. What I'm focused on a day-to-day basis is doing my job, doing the job that people elected me to do.
Thanks, Mayor. Craig Wall, ABC 7.
Hello, Mayor.
It would seem, based on the way you teased the audience and how you talked about an announcement that you didn't give, that this very much was a precursor to a re-election announcement. Is that what this was today?
This was a Chicago is doing very well from an economic standpoint speech. I think I gave all the data points that talked about the fact that 2021 was a phenomenal year for us economically, and frankly, wanted to share that with this crowd because that message isn't breaking through other channels, and it was important for us to reclaim our own narrative around the things that make us a very good, great global city. People need to know that. If you saw from when I asked people to raise their hand about their knowledge of the many, I think, impressive economic milestones that we were able to accomplish in 2021, very few people in that room knew it. So it's really important for me as the mayor, as the advocate in chief for our city, to preach the gospel about what is going well in our city so we can be proud of the things that we're accomplishing. Our businesses are doing phenomenally well. They're creating jobs, they're giving hope, and they're going into areas of our city that haven't seen the kind of investment that they deserve. And I need to champion that, which is why I came here today to make the announcements that we did.
And probably to be the third or fourth person to ask you this, but is soon next week or is it next month? What is your timetable when you say soon? And how much will your own polling make a difference in that decision?
Well, what I will say is this. I think that we have done a very good job under very daunting odds. I have said this before. I will challenge you to find another mayor who has had to address the kind of challenges that I have in the last 3 years. And I don't think you're going to find it because it's this unprecedented set of challenges, a pandemic, historic economic meltdown, civic unrest, spiking violence that we've seen all across the city, really all happening within about a 6-month time period, and then having to continue to keep people confident and hopeful and safe from the pandemic, safe from violence. All of these things compressed in an incredible time period. There was no honeymoon period for me coming in as mayor. And so I feel very confident about the things that we've been able to do, the kind of climate that we have set. You know, many of you say, oh, the mayor doesn't get along with people and this and that. Well, look at the results. Look at the results with that and report on that. You folks who like to write about the challenges and how the powers of the incumbency won't benefit this mayor. What I would say to you is we get stuff done. And we get stuff done because we build relationships and partnerships that enable us to do that. Whether it's passing a budget to close not one but 2 historic budget deficits, whether it's coming out of the pandemic and forging a plan forward that people all over the country are calling us about and saying how you did that, whether it's forging, I think, the most equitable and inclusive vaccine distribution plan in the country. The list goes on, and you heard some of that today, and I hope you'll actually report on some of the things that show Chicago is well poised for the future. So I feel very confident about where we are and where we're going to be. And like any good gardener, when you plant the seeds, you till the soil, you watch the shoots rise up from the garden, you want to be there to reap the harvest. So soon is soon.